My name is Carson. Welcome back to Thrifty Garage. In today's video, we will be doing a 2-year review on this Harbor Freight Fortress air compressor. This is their ultra quiet compressor. Been really happy with this so far. I have had a few issues. We'll kind of go through our comments on our initial unboxing and review video, kind of talk about it, maybe do some maintenance items. I will say one of the biggest problems I've had with this off the get-go is occasionally this start-stop switch does not work. Doesn't want to crank over. Recently, within the last month or so, I actually had a time where I could not get it to fire up. Tried turning it off, tried turning it back to auto, tried plugging it in and unplugging it, and it just wouldn't fire off. What I ended up doing, and this is something you're supposed to do after every use, is draining this, letting all the air and water out. And usually what I end up doing is I will leave it full of air, and then I'll come back and hook up the hose and reuse it. So usually it will have some air in it and it will just slowly deplete over time. That's not how you're intended to use it. You're supposed to use it, turn it off, let it air out. So I don't know if that's causing the problem. I feel like most decent air compressors shouldn't have any problem at all with that. We have never cleaned these air filters, so we'll go ahead and pop that off and see how dirty those look. And like I said, we'll go through the comments and explain those. Looks pretty clean to me. Like, perfect. Notice they use the word regularly. That means no specified service interval, but if you don't clean it, then they can void your warranty. Yeah, those are mint. No issues there. This is a pretty clean shop environment. We'll go ahead and put those back on off camera. Okay, got those put back on. Really simple and easy. Something you probably don't need to check too often unless it's really dirty. Let's go ahead and plug this in. I'm going to start this with this open. And I guess we'll just turn it off. Plug it in. Kick it on. Okay, we're up to our 175 psi, and that did take a while, close to 10 minutes. I'll put a timer on the screen for you. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get a temperature reading. 102 degrees, 118. These cooling fins up top here. Those are a little bit warmer. Where do we get our 132 at? There we go, inside there. So inside that cylinder. And there's where it's got the warmest. That makes sense. So outside here, this is probably warm. I wouldn't want to touch that for too long. Those fins are a little bit warmer. The inside is the hottest. That does take a while to get up to full pressure. You do have this nice little lever that you can pop and move and change your pressure, whatever you need it at, and you can push that in to lock it. I just keep it right around that 90 mark. We use this for anything from bicycle tires to air nailers for home remodel, all the way up to 90 to 110 psi for trailer tires for a 14,000 pound trailer. We'll go ahead and hook up this air hose real quick. A really nice setup, honestly. One thing when we're cutting PVC flooring, the LVP flooring, it makes a bunch of little shavings of PVC. This thing's really nice to be able to blow it off. And then, so usually I come out here, I fire it up, I use it. When I'm done using it, I'll unplug this, and then I will just let it sit, and it will, it takes a couple days, so it'll slowly deplete all the way down to back down to 0. So I don't know if that's the best for it. I think that it wants you to, it says close this valve, so I think after every use you're supposed to open this valve and just drain it off. So obviously a lot of water in there. That's not great for the tank over time. So you're supposed to just drain that after every use. I don't usually. It's been great. Like I said, 2 years old. Other than this auto start having issues, that's the only issue I've ever had. And then I just followed this note right here, which says it has an auto reset. If it doesn't turn on, unplug it, wait 10 minutes, and then turn it back on. And when I did that, like I said, I also just drained that, and then it fired right back up. Doesn't want to crank over. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh. Oh, oh. Come on, we tried. Drained the tank. Followed the instructions here. Let it reset. Plugged it back in. Let's give it another go. What do you know? Would I buy it again? I think for the money it was a good deal. Unfortunately, I think these are more expensive now. I don't think they're the best air compressor on the market. I think for an entry-level light use, I would recommend it for that if you can afford it. The quiet, I think it's like 69 decibels. It really is pretty nice. Any air compressor is annoying. I've actually thought about putting it, we've got another garage bay next to this. I thought about putting it behind the wall and then putting a hose reel on this side. The problem with that is it's a little finicky. Like I said, it does require a little bit of touch and go. And so I don't think I could simply put it over there and hook up a switch even on the side to just turn it on. I think that it needs to be able to be drained. I think it needs to be able to be serviced and in your work area. So that I would say is a con. But I'm happy. It's been, you could say I've abused it because I haven't followed the manufacturer recommendations entirely, but I've just used it and abused it and used it for what I needed it for. I haven't really given much care or thought to it. Even on my initial video, I did not follow the initial startup procedure correctly. So, take it as you will. I think I try to do these reviews as a normal average homeowner. I don't think every homeowner is going to go through and read the manual and do things by the book 100% perfect. I think most homeowners are going to use it the way I have, so I try to use it in that manner so I can find any flaws that it might have. As far as maintenance, those obviously, unless you're in a dirty environment, not a big deal. That is probably more of a maintenance item, and I should address that more often. But other than that, it just sits here and gets used. Let's go ahead and pull up some of those YouTube comments. Okay, we'll pull up Fortress Harbor Freight. Right there.
Click the link below.
We got an ad. We've got 147 comments. I guess we'll go newest to oldest. This person went through 2 of these in 6 months, finally got fed up and went with the 29-gallon McGraw unit. Hopefully it's better. Does it still work good? Somebody says this isn't quiet. 10 seconds. Anyone know if this is 110 or 120 or 222 volts? This is just your normal wall outlet style plug. I was thinking about getting one, but it seems like a long time compared to my 30-gallon Craftsman, about 4.5 minutes. It does take a while to build up pressure. Long fill time. Yeah, I'm curious what other people say about the fill time on these this size units for 175 psi. I had mine for 1.5 years. When I first bought it, I loved it. It's developed leaks. The pipe dope doesn't hold up. I had no problem with leaks. The only leaks I do have is if I leave my air hose hooked up, that leaks a little bit of air. So as long as I unhook that, I'm fine. But I think that's on the air hose side, not on the compressor side of things. How about an update video? Here you go. Would take 8 minutes to fill back up. 4 CFM isn't anything, needs about 14. Mine keeps cutting off before reaching the set pressure, and I have to unplug it and let it cool for a bit. So I think that might be a little bit of a common issue. We've got 5 comments on that one. 10 minutes to fill up 26 gallons, I'm out. It's trash, mine caught on fire within 10 minutes of use, don't buy. I wonder how it compares to Home Depot's Husky 20 gallon, about 350 bucks. That was 9 months ago. It's been a year, how did it hold up? Anything broken? You're supposed to open the drain valve and let it run for 30 minutes straight to break in. So like I said, I did not do that. Fill time, 4 minutes. Picked up this unit today, and wow, seriously, I have an older 21 gallon and had it for more than a decade. This thing doesn't even sound like it's running. I'm happy with it. Yeah, compared to the old Harbor Freight, lot quieter. I've heard those running. How long before it runs out of air? That's hard to say. Depends on what you're using it for. How's the compressor working? Any quirks? Bad impressions yet? Worth follow-up? Like I said, just that like check valve, start, stop switch seems to have issues. I think the compressor has a hard time initiating, building up pressure after it's been sitting under a load for a while. It says 15 amps. Do you know watts? Yeah, this is on a 15 amp breaker, not a 20 amp. Yep, this was an unboxing video. 10 minutes to fill, it's terrible. So a lot of comments on the fill time being not great. 30-minute break-in cycle, the water drain plug. So another comment about that. Same product as Husky. Picked up this one yesterday and love it. Sounds noisy to me, somebody says. Noise is kind of hard to hear over video. Another comment about braking procedure. Another request for a follow-up. How wide is it from end of wheel to end of wheel? I have a small cubby I need the compressor in. I'm looking for one that will roll in and out of it. We've got this pretty tight in here. I think it's pretty much sitting against the wall. So from the wall out, you're looking at about, you could probably fit in 18 inches. Maybe this upper handle might stick out a little bit further. Yeah, this upper handle is probably closer to 20 inches. And then width-wise, wheel to wheel, as far as rolling into a space, you probably want 21 and a half inches. With this bar up here, maybe a little bit further, you're probably closer to 22 and a half for this bar on the side. Harbor Freight increased the price from $350 to $380. Yeah, I think that really kind of changes things for me as far as if this would be my first go-to. I have not checked on current pricing. Lowe's Quiet Tech, 15 amps, bought the same compressor. This thing is the quietest compressor I've ever owned. Manual says break-in procedure, something about recovery time, 90-day warranty. I would love to try this out with a plasma cutter. I have not checked that out. California Air. I've heard good things about the California Air. I haven't tried one out though. Another comment about quietness. So that's the 2-year review on this air compressor. Would I buy it again? Like I said, pricing, now I'd probably have to go reshop it out and see if this is still the best deal. At the time, for the quietness, for the size, for the pressure, all that stuff, this was the best deal. Am I happy with how it's held up? I am. It's done the job. It's got a few quirks, but it's never fully let me down, so I have to give it a pass. Do your own research, see if this is still a good deal, see if they've got a better model, see if other stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, any other brands have better options for the price, but I'm happy, and it's here to stay for the unforeseeable future, unless we have issues, and if we do, we'll do an update video. So if you're interested in the update video, if it needs one, subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, give us a like. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching Thrifty Garage.